Hello. Just getting a couple of things set up and we'll go ahead and start in about a minute here. So today we are going to take a look at another great celebration product, and just wanting to say hi, it's Autumn with StampingAVE, and today we're going to do the unthinkable, and that is stamp on designer paper. Well, I always forget about it, so that's why I wanted to feature this Marbleous paper, and I think it fits a lot of fun events. And let's get started with what we need. I did forget to write down the dimensions for this, but I can try and run those sizes by you. Our card base is the 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then if you want, you can do a layer, or you can cut the next paper as your designer paper. Either one works. So this balmy blue is the 4 by 5 1/4. And these two will just go ahead and attach to one another. And then all of the action is taking place on this beautiful Marbleous paper. This side I think is maybe a little too dark for what I want to do. So let's take a look and see what some of the other colors are. This paper is available through the end of the month, and you get 6 beautiful colors. This is the lighter side, and then you flip it over and you have the more vibrant, kind of reminds you of the shaving cream technique. But those are the ones. I have a few other samples that I'll show you after we finish stamping. Today I want to use Peaceful Moments, and the colors that I felt this Marbleous paper went well with was the Balmy Blue and the Misty Moonlight. So we'll go ahead, and first what I want to do is decide where am I going to create my punch. I didn't really like that I ended up in this spot, so I want to think it through a little bit more when I'm showing you guys. This is just cut directly out of the paper and then sponged on the edge to be able to pop it up with dimensionals. So I look at this paper and I see this side is a little bit lighter, so I'm going to have a better time seeing my sentiment on that side. And I think I'm actually going to turn the card this time. I'm going to, instead of vertical, I'll make it horizontal. So I have 2 punches here, and I really like this one because it's not so sharp and it matches that a little bit better. So I like to turn my punch upside down and see where I'm going. And I'm headed for the lower corner, and I didn't go all the way in. That's okay. So you can kind of take a peek at where that's going to end up on the page. And now I'm going to get my stamp inked up, and we'll set our punches aside. Just remember, with these new ink pads and the firm foam, you really don't need a lot if they are properly inked. And so I was a little crooked on my last one. Hopefully I'm not as crooked this time. I'm using my favorite, my new favorite. This is the Misty Moonlight in color. I think it's just the perfect blue. And then what I'm gonna do to make it pop a little bit more is use my sponge dauber. I like this because my fingers don't get as dirty as they did when it was the sponging days, and you can get as rough as you want. It just puts more sponging on the edge, and I'm just I'm doing this pretty lightly, and you can see there's a lot of color popping right off of here. And it just makes it look like it was already there. And another thing I'm going to do is the edge of this paper so that it bounces a little more off of my balmy blue. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling my card here. Just need to fold our card base and burnish that edge so that it sits nice. And then today I'm using my tape runner, which is brand new. So we'll get the balmy blue on here. And then this time I won't make the mistake of putting it on the wrong side. And then for this sympathy, we'll go ahead and use, I like to cut my scraps down a bit so that they fit in more things. And I'm just always ready to rock and roll with these. This card is pretty straightforward, and I was inspired by the keyhole card. And we'll go ahead and put that right where we punched it out of, and it is raised up just a little bit. You can see that. And I also have my favorite metallic pearls handy. This time I'm not going to put them right on with the sentiment. I think I will use my take your pick tool and kind of put them in a triangle, so 3. This one doesn't want to behave. And just kind of show off. There we go. Oh my goodness, these little wild guys. I think I like that over there. So it just brings about a different look than what I had originally done. And it might be that the layout makes it look better that way. So we have the 2 versions. You could easily swap out any of those colors, make these a birthday card. A baby card is what I have as my next sample. This one is using the Flirty Flamingo, and the stamp set is Happy and Heartfelt. That one is in the new January to June catalog. And again, I use that punch, same punch, and then for the layer I used a scrap, and I actually cut it in half to make it bigger, and you can see the rounded edges here, so I turned it a little bit. And then my last one, probably my favorite, with the gorgeous grape base, and I went ahead and used Happiest of Birthdays and then the in color gems. So it really pops right off that Marbleous paper, and it brings a lot of fun to this beautiful paper. You can certainly do a lot more with it, but I was happy to showcase you can stamp directly on your designer paper. Woohoo! So I will be showcasing one more celebration item next week at 10 o'clock, and that is the Friendly Hello set. So there is a stamp set and paper that is free with a $100 qualifying order. So we'll go ahead and make a version of this beautiful card next week using the designer paper and the stamp set, and you'll get to see some blends in action. So I thank you much for joining me today, and I hope that you are inspired to stamp on your designer paper. Thanks everyone, have a good day.